The party had long since ended, the laughter of the guests still echoing in the air as they gradually made their way to the porch. The kitchen was left in a soft mess, plates stacked high, crumbs scattered on the counter, and candles burning low. I leaned against the sink, swirling the last of my wine, feeling the warmth of it spread through me. That was when I felt someone approach. Turning around, I saw Adam standing right behind me, a hesitant smile on his face. He offered to help with the dishes. This was strange, because Adam had never offered to help before. He usually just stood there, watching others work, and when everything was done, he'd disappear. I should have told him to join the others, but instead, I stepped aside, letting him start washing the dishes. As he reached for a plate, I could feel the tension in the air, like something was happening that I couldn't explain. The feeling wasn't clear, but it was strong enough to keep me from looking away. His eyes weren't just that of a friend's. They held something deeper, something I hadn't noticed before. We stood next to each other, the quiet of the kitchen filling the space, only the sound of water and the breathing of two people. Each time his hand brushed mine, while he reached for something, I felt a small spark igniting inside me. Each touch, whether accidental or intentional, made me feel a jolt of energy. It was a strange, exciting feeling, but I couldn't name it. Adam was no longer just John's best friend. He had become someone else in my eyes. Someone who made me feel seen, noticed. Something I hadn't felt in my marriage for years. The questions he began asking me left me unsettled. Have you ever thought about it? A question I knew I couldn't answer right away. He wasn't talking about a casual affair. He was talking about the emptiness, the longing to be noticed and loved. That's when I realized that what Adam was saying were feelings I'd buried deep inside for so long. Feelings I had never admitted even to myself. That realization made me unable to stop, and even though I looked into his eyes, I couldn't find the words to say no. This moment felt as though it had been coming for a long time, like everything in my life had led me here. We moved slowly, as if we didn't need to rush, as if no words were necessary. His touches seemed to search for something lost, to reclaim parts of me that had been forgotten. Every action Adam took was full of patience, like he knew I needed time to accept it. And then, when his lips brushed against my neck, I felt my whole body awaken. The sensation was completely new, as if I had returned to my own body, not just as a person fulfilling everyday duties, but as someone with feelings, with desires and needs of my own. Every caress, every kiss, wasn't rushed. We were rediscovering each other, as if we had been here before, in another life. Everything was slow, full of emotion, and as I sat on the counter, I wanted to keep that moment forever. I didn't need to speak, didn't need to express any feelings in words. Everything was conveyed through our actions, through our looks, through the gentle touches and the hunger of our kiss. After everything calmed down, we went back to washing the dishes as if nothing had happened, but in reality, everything had changed. The kitchen was quiet again, but inside me, there was a turmoil I couldn't explain. I glanced through the window. John was still laughing and joking with the others, completely unaware. A wave of guilt surged within me, but also a clarity I couldn't deny. Adam was no longer the cocky friend. Now he was softer, quieter. But in my eyes, he was no longer just an outsider. He had become the man I had longed for. Later that night, as I lay next to John, I couldn't stop thinking about Adam, about what I had felt. How long had it been since I felt like a real woman, not just John's wife, not just the one doing all the housework, but a human being with feelings, with passions of her own. Adam had made me feel that way, and that's what terrified me, the way it made me feel good, but I couldn't forget it. That night, I knew I couldn't go back to how things were, but I also couldn't stop. Just one small moment, but it was one I would never forget. As things went back to normal, I began to realize that my moment with Adam wasn't about running away. It was a rediscovery of myself. The feelings I had buried for so long now flared up, as if I had lived in the shadows for too long, and now I was being seen in the light. While I knew I was standing at a crossroads, facing a risky choice, I couldn't deny how I felt, how good it felt to be loved, to be truly seen. I didn't know what would happen next, if I could go back to my old life or not, but one thing was certain: I would never forget that feeling. If you feel like this story has touched your heart and you want to share your thoughts, don't forget to leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you and make our story even richer and more lively. Make sure to hit subscribe so you won't miss any future touching stories. Thank you for following, and see you in the next video.